All right, we continue to discuss cricket on the SportsMax Zone. West Indies came close, but again fell short to lose the opening T20 international against England by 21 runs at Chester Street earlier on Friday. After winning the toss and batting, the hosts blasted 188 for 6 off their 20 overs. Former skipper Jos Buttler fell 4 runs short of a second T20 international century, blasting a 59-ball 96 while sharing in a 79-run second wicket partnership with Jamie Smith 38 and 60 runs for the fifth wicket with Barbados-born Jacob Bethel, who added an unbeaten 23. Romario Shepherd was the pick of the Windies bowlers with 2 for 33. Player of the match and left-arm spinner Liam Dawson then returned figures of 4 for 20 to cripple the Windies' pursuit of 189 with help from Bethel and Matthew Potts with 2 wickets each to limit the Caribbean men to 167 for 9 in 20 overs. Evan Lewis, he top scored with 39, while Roston Chase contributed 24 as the Englishmen took a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. Well, let's now get the thoughts of the man, Nikhil Uttamchandani. Nikhil, before we started this segment, I said to Donald and Ricardo, we were so close. I don't know how we managed to lose this one. They, of course, said, no, Mariah, we were not that close, and laughed at me. What do you think, Nikhil? Because I know as much as you analyze, you support as well. We literally were close. All the batsmen got starts. I just don't know what happened.
Mariah, I would be careful how you use that word support. I support world cricket. I don't support the West Indies. But I don't think it was close. I think
Donald is having a massive breakdown here.
Nikhil, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think about what you just said, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to rephrase if you think it is necessary to do so.
I think I'm supportive of cricket, so I'm neutral. I'm unbiased.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Analyze the match.
Let's get back to the analysis. Right. I think Mariah, the West Indies should be disappointed with their effort. I don't think it was close in the end, albeit a few boundaries towards the end of the game where it was pretty much done and dusted. Look, I think today came down to a lack of execution. When you think about the way the bowlers started, that for me was the difference in the game. On a surface like this where when you went into the pitch and it was so hard to hit, but slower deliveries were tougher to hit, you knew that the first 6 overs with only 2 fielders outside the circle would pretty much determine the result. And you look at a 34-run difference. For me, that made that's what allowed England for me to win this game. 78 for 1 in the power play. I thought the West Indies pulled their bat well. We've been critical of their death bowling. 40 for 2 in the last 5 was very impressive. But again, you just can't concede 78 and you yourself just be 44 runs after the first 6.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of the bowlers being extremely expensive. But Roston Chase, I want to talk about him, Nikhil, mainly because he gets into the setup, no Akilo sign due to visa issues. He comes in and he makes an impact. And I'm talking about with both the ball and the bat. 1 for 19 and, of course, that 24 runs. An important innings for him.
Yeah, I thought he was decent with ball in hand. A critical role is always the 6th bowling option in the T20 game because it then allows the captain to have a bit more flexibility around his frontline options. I think his batting is something that we probably need to get into a bit deeper. And don't get me wrong, he's done a very good job for the West Indies with his flexibility with bat in hand over the last couple of years. But I look at when he came in. So he came in at 33 for 2 in the 6th over. And he ended up getting 24 off 20. Now, remember, he hit a 6 off the first ball. And I can understand with, the West Indies losing some wickets and not wanting to go too early. I can understand a conservative approach. But when we analyze this game, it could probably be an innings that maybe we ask ourselves, one, could Chase have gone a bit harder earlier? Given the depth and power that the West Indies have in their low order, you look at the likes of Shepherd and Holder barely batting coming in the last few overs. Or two, my alternative would be, could the West Indies have gone to Sherfane Rutherford, who we discussed yesterday and have seen in the IPL, bat at number 4, who could have easily come in that role. You would have had, 2 left-handers at the crease in Lewis, but I still think something to put doubt in the mind of Harry Brook with his 2 spin options, spinning the ball away from the right-handers. So, look, for me, I think a lot of the problem is the West Indies' structure to the innings when it comes to the batting. I think about 2024 when England came to the Caribbean. They were going so hard, they lost 11 wickets in 3 power plays. That was obviously a problem. Now today, it seems like they've gone to the other side of the spectrum, looking to be conservative in the power play. Lewis didn't take on Dawson. He didn't really show us any intent. And almost leaving too much for your power hitters to do at the back end. So they still have not found the right balance and the right tempo as to how they want to set up the innings with bat in hand.
Yeah, and it's something that they would really need to correct if they are to walk away even with a win in that second T20 International. Another discussion point coming into the match, and I'd like to know how he went about his duties. Jason Holder coming into this setup, you know, getting the new ball and all of that. What did you think about his performance today?
Yeah, I definitely thought you could see the value he brings at the back end. The last over he bowls was probably the difference between them getting over 200. The execution, I thought he came into the game as he went on. Obviously, you expect there to be a bit of rust. Hasn't played since the PSL when the break happened end of March. So I thought, yeah, he came into it well. The first over obviously was a bit shaky. He couldn't find the right line, a few down the leg side. But where I think the West Indies can be a bit more innovative is with Holder's batting. And I watched him today in the last few overs where he really couldn't do much. I think if you place him up the order, maybe a bit earlier, I'm thinking about who could have been the ones to neutralize Rashid and Dawson, England's 2 biggest threats. For me, it was Holder. He's the better player of spin in the team. He's also got more reach, so it gives him another dimension of tackling the spin. And yeah, maybe potentially going forward, the West Indies can look at sending Holder either in the middle of Powell and Russell or maybe ahead of both of them, depending on the situation.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that they didn't make use of that opportunity as well. But quick question, which team has the more experienced bowling lineup?
That'll be the West Indies.
Yeah. So why am I hearing Hope afterwards speaking about, you know, lack of execution? Because everyone coming into this match knows the type of pitch that's usually at Chester Street, that you have to hold back a little bit in terms of the pace. But we learned so slowly at the top when we were bowling.
Yeah, that for me was the biggest disappointment, Donald. Look, obviously when you start a game, you want to be on that good length. And I want to give England some credit. The way Butler batted with his ability to score around the ground, Jamie Smith as well, was strong on the pulse, strong down the ground. I thought, obviously, they batted well to put the West Indies under pressure, but it was amazing to see, especially after Shepherd bowled the over. He bowled out such an excellent over in the power play, going into the pitch and taking pace off. I was shocked to see the length that Russell and Alzari Joseph bowled. They were so full. 37% of the deliveries in the power play were in the slot. And, I mean, in no phase do you want to be in the slot. But, of course, when you only have 2 fielders on the boundary, you definitely don't want to be there. So, yeah, on a pitch like that, they were way too full.
We're 91 for 2 at one stage, and then Lewis would have given away his wicket in the 10th over. I thought we were poised to really push on, but suddenly the wickets just fell one after the other because we kept attacking as opposed to just rotating and keeping the scorecard ticking over.
Yeah, the halfway stage, they needed 98 from 10, and they had 7 wickets in hand. Most teams would take that and say, well, we'll bite your hand off for that, actually, especially with a team that bats the 11 like the West Indies. The only problem for the Windies was Rashid and Dawson had 5 of the 10 overs to bowl. And I want to draw a comparison here. I heard Shea Hope say at the end of the game, we frankly just have to be better against spin. West Indies bowled 6 overs of spin today. England faced 8 dots. That's 8 dots in 36 deliveries. So although, yes, they weren't able to get Moti away, they're still able to pick up the 1s and 2s against him. Yep. That's 20%. England bowled 12 overs of spin. The West Indies faced 34 dots. That's almost 50%. And again, we continue to talk about this problem year after year. Until the West Indies find the way and the skill to score off of more deliveries against the spin, they're going to continue to lose games on pitches like this. And you think about the next World Cup in Sri Lanka, where they recently were, you could easily turn up to Dambulla and easily find a surface that will spin and a team that's got 3 or 4 solid options.
Nikhil, thanks for joining us. We got to go, but we'll discuss more cricket in the immediate future as we continue to look at this T20 series, and hopefully West Indies will be winning in the near future.
Give my regards to Ricardo. Have a good weekend.
Will do. We take a break. Back with more of this. Stay with us.